Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to the PHLY Flyers Pregame Show presented by Coors Light. Visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY Hockey to get Coors Light delivered or find a store near you. My name's Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Happy Halloween, JP. We have the man himself, the star of the Anthony Gargano Show, and now the John Marks Show. You're basically running the network now, JP. I'm glad I was able to get you tonight. You're able to come down here with the little people and do a little Flyers pre and post action. How you been?
Oh, stop it, Bill. What's going on, brother? Happy Halloween to you too, man. I'm so happy that you did not come dressed up. I fully expected you to come in some sick costume. And by the way, dude, this morning John and I were dying over your Mischief Night post, dude.
It was like 4 a.m. and I just was like up, hanging out. Me and Ava had some fun last night. She goes to bed. She had to be up early because she had stuff to do.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going to TP my own house. And now the joke's on me because the wind's been blowing. It was all wet with dew. So now my yard is a mess. And who's going to clean it up? Me. So I really mischiefed myself. But it was well worth it. I love Halloween. I love Mischief Night. And it was a great time, JP. But we have a great time coming up ahead of us.
Yes, sir.
Flyers and Blues coming to us from the Wells Fargo Center. Nice Halloween night showdown. And take a quick look at the lineup. Charlie told us just a little bit ago that there'd be no changes, and as there shouldn't be after the game in Boston. Their first regulation win since the season opener in 2011, the Bruins banner-raising night. Sean Couturier's NHL debut is the last time they won in regulation in Boston.
Wild.
They shut them out. So the lines remain the same. We take a look. It's Coots centering TK and Michkov, Frost with Tippett and Forster, Lawton centering Farabee and Brink, and then that fourth line of Cates, Paling, Hathaway. And on defense, Sanheim, Risto, the surprisingly strong top pair that we've seen since Cam York went on IR. Sealer and Drysdale stay together as they try to find some consistency. And Emil Andre stays in the lineup. He'll play with Eric Johnson as Yegor Zamula continues to find himself scratched in favor of Emil Andre. It's been quite a ride here for Zamula. He had a really rough start to the season, but now we're getting a look at Emil Andre, JP, and I've really liked what I've seen so far. I know they weren't all that excited maybe about putting him in. They think he just straight up won the eighth defenseman job in camp, but just kind of don't think he's ready to play every night in the NHL. But limited action, he has certainly been, if nothing else, he's kept his head above water. He picked up his first career point the other night on the Forster goal. He looks good.
Yeah, and like I told, dude, we had this conversation on post-game shows. Like Igor Zamula, you feel for him, but he has not played well in the early parts of the season. And like I was saying, like you couldn't get worse. Like, so let's just see what Andre can do. And honestly, Andre gave a little bit of a spark. I love the gumption he was playing with, dude. He had a little jab in his step. It was really cool to see, and I just want to see some more. Obviously, as he's got, I like match him up with the vet too. But dude, these defensive pairings, man, we talked about it. If they want to turn this bad boy around, it's got to start that blue line.
And I'm really excited for tonight's game. It's a fun matchup.
Yeah.
Of we just talked about on the yesterday's show and after the Boston win that the last time they won in regulation in Boston was the season opener of 2011-12, and it's the season the Flyers had completely changed their team. They trade Mike Richards. They trade Jeff Carter. Yager joins the team. Briz joins the team. It's a whole different look. It's Sean Couturier's debut that night, and it's Braden Shen. He'd played a few games with the Kings, but it's his Flyers debut. And now we get this matchup, Sean Couturier, captain of the Flyers, against Braden Shen, captain of the Blues.
Wow.
It has been a pretty wild decade for these guys. And like, if I had my time machine, I would undo those trades. I would keep Richards and Carter for at least another year.
Yeah.
I would love to see what that team could have done with one more year together. Bobrovsky, the whole group, just see. But you look at the way things have worked out. I got to give it to Paul Holmgren. Like, there's two separate captains of franchises, like, running, he got out of those trades, not to mention Jake Voracek and Wayne Simmons. Like, it all worked out pretty well for both sides. But it's just really funny to see now, like, all these years later, we just had that game against Boston, and now we have a matchup of these two as captains for the first time.
Yeah, and that's just sometimes how it works, right, Bill? I mean, like, sometimes guys find, like, especially like Branch is like the great example. Like, he goes down to St. Louis, he finds himself a little role, and dude, they love him down there, and he becomes the captain. It's funny because, like, you know, give him a little comparison. It's kind of like Drew Holiday. You know, he's a first trade piece in the process, and he becomes, you know, two-time NBA final winner. He's a point guard everybody would love to see, and it's just the right place at the right time. And for Braden Shannon, even Sean Couturier, we've seen him going through the ups and downs, back injury and all, and now he's got the C on the sweater, and it's looking like he's been turning his game around as well over the last couple of weeks.
I mean, just from the home opener, his 800th career game, Sean Couturier, where he started, and he started at fourth line left wing, and now he's centering the top line again. He's right back to being 1C Couturier. He's between Travis Konechny, 30-goal scorer, the best forward on the team, up until Matvei Michkov joined, and now he's in between both of them, the two top scorers on the team. Coots, he's got 6 points. 5 of them came in the Minnesota game alone.
Right.
So he definitely needs to get the offense going a little bit. But I've liked what I've seen out of Coots really since that season opener. He started a little or the home opener. He started the season slow, no doubt, and I think that was bound to happen. Coming back from the abdominal surgery, just doesn't really know what his role is. The whole team started slow. It's not as if he is alone in a slow start, but he's come around, and I think that's a big part of this team maybe getting something going now. I wouldn't say they played particularly well against Minnesota. They had 6 shots through 40 minutes, but they scored 7 goals. Like, this is a team that does not score. They scored 7 goals. Then they had a little bit of a clunker against Montreal, although they did play. I said it was the procrastinator special. Like, I put 20 minutes into it and got a C+. Everyone worked on the project for a month. Like, they worked real hard for about 3 minutes, and they lost 4-3. It looked the final score looked a lot better than the outcome of that game. It was a perfect procrastinator special. But I want to talk about the defense just another minute here, because we talked about Yegor Zamula and his struggles. And I really thought it was just that third pair. I thought it was Zamula, Ristolainen, for whatever reason. Like, this is just not working. These two are both off to a real rough start. And then Cam York gets hurt, and suddenly Rasmus Ristolainen finds himself on the top pair, playing like 8, 9, 10 more minutes a game than he was. And he looks really, really good in the role. And Zamula in the press box, Emil Andre looks good in the third pair. I gotta give it to Risto. He has stepped up, and I think Sanheim deserves some of the credit as well. I think he's played really well since York went down. He had a couple of goals a few games ago, but this might be right now, long term. I guess you don't really want to see Eric Johnson in there, but the line, Cam York, obviously you'd much prefer him to be playing, but the lineup as it stands right now, this is exactly what I want to see.
And you know, the thing is that, like, we all kind of forgot that, because, like, the thing is that Risto can never stay healthy. But if he, like, stays in rhythm, right, he stays healthy, he can play well. And right now he's healthy. He's got Sanheim, and they seem to have a good partnership going together right now. So it's good for right now. And, knock on wood, Risto does stay healthy, because even when York does come back, I mean, we really do want to keep Risto. And I know a lot, especially like myself, like I am thinking about the deadline time, Bill. All right, I am keeping that in mind as well.
Even good.
I know that the contract doesn't look too bad right now. Okay, so hopefully he does keep up this play, man, because especially without York, we're gonna need that.
Absolutely, and I am looking at this offense tonight. That's really this team's scoring has been subpar to start the year. You look at the lineup and you go, there's a lot of guys who can score some goals that really just haven't. And I hope last game with Tyson Forster getting one, only his second goal of the season, he scored the first goal for the Flyers in the opening game and didn't score again until game 10. So maybe something's getting going for him. I'm going to look at it positively. He went the first 15 without a goal last year and ended with 20. So he is still well ahead of last year's scoring pace, at least at this point. And Joel Farabee made a real nice play in the neutral zone to get the empty net goal. Two guys they really got to get going. You look at this offense as a whole, 2.8 goals a game. They're 23rd in the NHL. They have 14 5-on-5 goals in 10 games. That's 27th in the league. And then you look at the Blues, they give up almost 3.5 goals a game. So maybe this is an opportunity to get something going here. And I'll tell you, I think a little bit of a spark to this offense. It might sound weird because he's only playing like 15 minutes a game. It's only his second. This will be his third game of the season. But I think Emil Andre's presence in the lineup can help this offense at 5-on-5 by like not just getting shots off at the point and making some dynamic plays in the offensive zone, but he's getting the puck up to the forwards quick. He's making quick decisions. He's making smart plays and good passes like he did on the Forster goal to set him up in the slot. I just think that John Tortorella talked about some of Zamula's struggles and said it's the speed. He's just not making decisions fast enough. He's not thinking the game fast enough. And you look at how often this team gets hemmed in its own zone. Emil Andre helping orchestrate a breakout on this third pair, I think can really pay dividends for this offense. And maybe we'll start seeing some of these guys score when they get some more opportunities.
Well, wasn't that the MO last season? We were successful at moving the puck up the ice very quickly, and Emil Andre is someone that can provide that for this Flyers offense right now. So I completely see that. I just feel like he does bring a little bit of that spark, and maybe it's like that wild card effect. Like, guy's got like nothing to lose. Like, this is his shot, so he's going out there and he's showing a little bit extra. But that right there is the key, especially if we're trying to unlock some of this offense.
Yeah, and that's we're going to get to some pregame picks now, JP. This pregame pick segment is brought to you by Bet365. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. I was really struggling. I wanted to get a bet in on the under tonight. Both teams struggled to score a little bit, but you look at the two goalies, Binnington and Sam Ersson. They're both in the .890 save percentage range. Both teams giving up a decent number of goals per game, and just really couldn't bring myself to do it. I think this could be a sneaky high-scoring game. So we're going to take a couple of anytime goals. First one, Braden Shen at plus 260. Former Flyer who hasn't scored in 8 straight games? Absolutely. This has all the makings. It's his first game back in Philly since getting the C. He's got 3 goals, 8 points in 11 career games against the Flyers. I typically bet former Flyers to score against the Flyers because why wouldn't they? It's like
makes sense.
It's just the simplest. It's always the simplest thing.
It's physics, people.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with Braden Shen. I think this could be a night for him. He wants to show his old team, the team that traded him. And we're gonna go with Matvei Michkov, anytime goal at plus 210. I think tonight is the night, JP. I think we get a Michkov, Michigan tonight.
Oh,
he's been trying it the last few games. He's had 4 or 5 attempts. And I think Halloween, the Mad Russian, is going to scare the league with his skills on All Hallows Eve. So we're going with a Shen anytime goal. We're going with a Michkov anytime goal.
Are we shocked Courts hasn't said anything to Michkov?
I think John Tortorella's problem with the Michigan when he was on television. One, he knows the character he's playing. Like John Tortorella, very media savvy. He's not dumb. He knows what he's there to do. He's a professional wrestler. What's his character? It's grumpy old man. 2, his problem with it is he just doesn't like the play. Like he doesn't think it should be legal. He doesn't think it's a hockey play, but it is legal. And it's very much a part of Michkov's arsenal. And I think we saw in the last game, the attempt he had against Boston. I don't know if it counted for a shot on goal. I don't think it did. But it's the closest he's come to pulling it off. He's spending a lot of time behind the net. He's spending a lot of time with the puck on his stick down low, JP. And we've seen him dish a lot of really nice passes, distribute the puck, a lot of potential assists. I think he leads the team in assists still. You look at Travis Konechny on that Michigan attempt, there's 4 Bruins converging on him down low. And Mish just kind of goes, oh, well, all right, I guess I'll take it myself. I think this is one of the adjustments the league has made is, okay, he's really distributing the puck well from down low. We have to crash down on the passes, so they're backing off of him back there. And if you give him the room, he's going to try it. I think tonight's the night he pulls it off.
Well, this is what we've been wanting, right? This is why we ask for top end talent for stuff like that. And if he's confident enough to do it, then go for it. Has our boy Neil been back on the pregame shows? He predicted the 2 goals on Saturday,
right? Yeah, he did have a prediction on yesterday's trick or treat show.
Okay.
That I wanted to get to. I said, okay. I have no memory of what it was because my memory is nonsense, basically. I think it was a Ryan Poehling goal, Brenna says. So, wow, that would be something. Maybe that's what it was. Neil, if you're listening, Neil Dexter, I think, is the guy who called.
It.
I think he called himself Dexter Damas yesterday.
Yes.
And I thought that was good, but your name is Neil. Neil Stradamus. What are we doing here, man? Come on. I can't be I shouldn't have to do this for you. But no, he had a prediction yesterday that I wanted to get to. We did a trick or treat show yesterday,
Very nice.
JP, and it was really just as a train now comes by my house at the absolute perfect time. We did the trick or treat show, and it was really just an excuse after like the watch along and the long night before to screw around and like Photoshop some players on candy. And we were talking about our favorite candies.
Wow.
Brenna has a controversial one.
Okay.
Almond Joy. And I just grabbed this energy drink out of the fridge without looking at, and we all made fun. I just don't like coconut. Like I'm just anti. Okay. And we were all kind of crapping on Almond Joys in the chat and everything. And I think I had this coming to me. This is like some sort of, it's called Hawaiian shaved ice. And it's like some sort of tropical thing with coconut. It's horrible. But that's what you get. It's karma coming back. Neil's comment. Oh, he called a Garnet Hathaway goal. That's what Neil called yesterday. So I did not bet Garnet Hathaway, but honestly, the way my bets have gone, and after Neil was able to predict 2 of the 3 Couturier goals, maybe you're better off tailing Neil Stradamus than you are me.
I like that. Okay. I can see him getting a nice little slap shot.
Yeah, he's going to get one eventually. He's always around the net. He's always making stuff happen. So it's definitely possible. And night like tonight, St. Louis Blues, you never know. It could get a little scrappy with him and Binnington. Maybe something happens.
Just eliminate the penalties. That's all I'm asking from Garnett.
Yeah, just like
the dumb ones, please.
If the team takes 3 penalties in a game and all 3 are yours, you don't want that.
No.
That's not the way things need to go here. Exactly. I do want to talk about the Blues a little bit. Jordan Binnington getting the start in net, and he had that magical run that ended in a Stanley Cup. It all started right here at the Wells Fargo Center. That year they won. They're in last place when they come in. Binnington makes his debut, shutout, and they never look back. They go on to win the cup. They fire the coach. They bring in Craig Berube, all that. Now Berube's in Toronto trying to find that magic again. But Binnington was the spark for that thing. Comes into this game. He's 2-4-0 with an .895 and a .312 goals against. So you can get the Binnington this year. And God, would I love to. You know what? Hathaway might be Hathaway for Neil Dexter might be a hell of a call because Jordan Binnington is a friggin' hothead. And like, who's going to be in his kitchen all game? Hathaway is going to be poking the bear all night.
Love it.
And so maybe that is a good call for him. But the Blues also having some trouble scoring. Part of the reason I thought about the under tonight, but I just Flyers home game, Halloween. Life's too short to bet unders.
What do you think
they're right behind. Yeah, they're right behind the Flyers, scoring 2.7 goals a game. Flyers are at 2.8. But one thing that has worked out for the Blues so far, their offer sheets, their off-season offer sheets, when they took a couple of Edmonton Oilers restricted free agents, defenseman Philip Broberg, they signed him for 2 years, $4.58 million average annual value. He's second on the team. The defenseman is second on the team in scoring with 8 points. And then Dylan Holloway, a depth forward that they stole for 2 years and $2.3 million average annual value. About he's tied with Jake Neighbors to lead the Blues in goals with 4. These two offer sheets seem to really work out, and I think it was on 32 Thoughts the other day. There was a conversation, JP, that, like I always want offer sheets. I think the Flyers should offer sheet everybody. I think it's fun. It's a great time. Everyone should do it more. There's nothing stopping you other than you want to play nice with the other GMs and everything. But there was a conversation on 32 Thoughts the other day that teams are paying real close attention to the Blues. And depending on how they do, depending on how Broberg and Holloway do under these contracts, maybe we'll start to see more of them because it's a copycat league. And what's real hard to do? Get high-end talent. That's difficult.
True.
But it isn't you also need depth pieces. And in the past, the Flyers have, when they've sent offer sheets, it's often, they did a Ryan Kessler one that was for $1 million or something. And the Canucks were like, oh, we match it. Okay.
The Shea Weber one's one I'll never
But
forget.
it's the Shea Weber one where they're just well, Nashville can't afford this. We're stealing the best defenseman in the league. That's all there's. And then they did match. Chris Gratton, they gave him $10 million up front when Tampa was basically still an expansion team. It was well, they don't have $10 million cash on hand. So, we win. We get Chris Gratton. But I think the strategy might change to maybe targeting second pair defensemen, middle 6 forwards, guys you get a little cheaper, but it's players that teams like Edmonton just don't have the cap space to keep around if you overpay them a little bit. So I'm real interested to see what happens over the next year or two after St. Louis kind of cracked the ice with 2 offer sheets in one off season. If nothing else, it's fun. And listen, Flyers have holes at every position. The only thing they're set at is right wing. Mm-hmm. So they need to target players any way they can get. I am hoping that Broberg and Holloway work out for the Blues, just so, hey, here's a precedent. Maybe try to steal some players.
Salary cap's so fascinating, isn't it, Bill?
It is. Sometimes I think we get a little bogged down into it. We get into because listen, I've worked through some lockouts and all sorts of weird Flyers situations, and you just learn things. But I just think it's so fascinating because it's so much that goes into it. There's so much you have to take into account when team building.
Yeah.
That it's just one of these little things, these offer sheets. You don't see many of them, but they're so freaking fun. You get a week to match, and it's the whole week. You're like, oh, what's going to happen? We just need more fun in this league. You look at the player movement in the NBA, the NFL finally caught on. Man, if we start having trades, it's even better. And hockey, it seems like GMs are so scared all the time. They just don't want to be the team that trades away the guy that ends up beating them later down the road. And understandable, but go for it sometimes. And that's what I just find offer sheets fun in that way.
Well, like Chuck Fletcher? Is that where you're referring to, Bill?
Well, I think the Flyers honestly they have been afraid of more than anything. That's why I think they're so there's such a log jam at right wing. Because they're this is an evaluation period, absolutely. And you want to make sure everybody, you get the proper look at everyone and you make the right decisions. But they're so afraid, I think, of the next Justin Williams, or the next Patrick Sharp, the guy we gave up on too soon, who ends up being, a stalwart for perennial Stanley Cup contenders, that sometimes you just got to go make a move. And I'm hoping Danny Briere doesn't fall into the trap that I think some former GMs did.
Yeah, I'll say this. I just feel like Danny Briere, he's not, it feels like he's not scared. Some of the deals that he's done so far, you have to love what he's done and being able to bring some of the young pieces over here, especially some of the moves that it's been tough to do. But time will tell, right, Bill, with Danny Briere. But right now, it does feel like he's done some good things, and he's not scared as some of the other GMs may be around the league.
All right, JP, before we get wrapped up tonight, I want to see, do we have any super chats?
Chats.
No super chats. Outstanding.
So do you remember Jack's NYB, the bar in South Philly? The
yeah.
You think they're still all about the Blues these days?
Probably, right? Because that's their
That was their shtick.
Yeah, that's their thing. So maybe I'm sure like when they come to town, like it's a thing. But yeah, maybe with Craig Berube not there anymore,
That's
it's a little
right.
different. But
Now
yeah,
it's Ace Bar.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this game tonight, and we have some things coming up that I think you should really be looking forward to as well. First, the first thing I got to tell you about is our watch party at Screwballs in King of Prussia on November 9th. It's a Saturday starting at 5:30. Flyers are going to be in Sunrise to take on the Cup champ, Florida Panthers, and you can come out. We're going to have a live pre- and post-game show. We're going to be watching the game, drinking some Coors Lights. Go to allphly.com right now to get a ticket so you can enter into the raffle. If you've been to any of our events before, the draft party, our giveaways are dope. You're going to want to get in on this raffle. It's like a $10 ticket. You get a couple of complimentary Coors Lights to come with it. Absolutely worth the price on that one to get in on the raffle and come out and watch the show, watch the game with us. It's going to be great. And at allphly.com right now, you can become a diehard. That's right. You can become a diehard, not for the usual annual price of $80. $48 right now gets you access to all Charlie O'Connor and our whole superstar roster of writers, premium content, access to the Die Hard Discord, discount on merch and events. It's you get a free shirt when you sign up. I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage of this offer right now. And I have been told it's running till next Tuesday. So you're running out of time. You don't want to miss out on the Die Hard limited time intro offer. Just $48 for an annual subscription that comes down to $4 a month. I just spent, $10 on a couple of anytime goal bets. Like that's basically money flushed down the toilet, especially the way I'm betting this year. This gets you all those benefits and so much more. Check out allphly.com. All right, hit me with those. We did get a couple of super chats. Let's get to those before we wrap up.
I like this first one.
All right, there it is. From Devin93, Flyers need Halloween jersey, yearly tradition. It was the I can't remember what outdoor game it was. It was the Giroux overtime against the Penguins. Those orange jerseys when they played at the link. I think those are the perfect Halloween jerseys. Like the logo looks like a jack-o'-lantern kind of thing. The orange is that darker, like kind of Halloweenish orange. I think they should wear those on Halloween. Absolutely, Devin.
Well, it's definitely easy to do with our colors too, right?
Black. Yeah, I mean they're the Halloween colored team. That's part of the reason I love Reese's Cups so much. I'm like, well, it's the Flyers. I'm showing, I'm supporting the team.
Love
All
it,
right,
brother.
let's get that next super chat from Daft Digit. Look, it's a super chat. Woo! I love when people come through for us with the super chats. It's really very much appreciated. That is pretty much all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers Pregame, presented by Coors Light. Visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY Hockey to get Coors Light delivered or to find a store near you. With the limited time remaining, I told you about that Die Hard offer, $48 for the year. You know what you can use your Die Hard subscription for? Discount on events, such as our Sweet Takeover. That's right. Sweet Takeover for the Ducks game in January. Cutter Gauthier, who is still without a goal to start his NHL career, will be coming to town, we assume, unless, they send him down because he's a bum. Maybe that could happen. But you want to get in on that right now. Tickets to a suite. Hang out with me and Charlie and Kelly and the gang. Drinks and food all night in the suite. And you get to boo Cutter Gauthier. What could be better? All right, that's all the time we have for you. Make sure you choose chill, enjoy some Coors Lights tonight, and hopefully the Flyers get this done, JP. What do you think? Nice win tonight?
Dude, we got to get the dub here, man. Let's keep this momentum rolling. Let's go.
I'm feeling good about this game. All right, that'll do it for us. I'm Bill Matz. That's JP Zapata. Until post-game, let's go Flyers.
Let's go.